So what I will do is I will just share my screen. So you can see my screen, right?
Yes, Surendra.
Yeah. So what I will do first is we will just try to, recap or visualize what we are actually trying to do and where are we right now. Okay. So this will help you to, to get a sense what we actually need to do and what we have already done and what we need to cover. Right. So essentially what we are trying to do is to learn how to develop LLM based applications. Okay. I mean, this is our main goal. How we can develop certain applications or some conversational bots or AI bots, whatever you say, how to develop those applications which make use of large language models which are there in the market. Okay, how to exploit them to accomplish something which is required for you. So for that, what we actually need is we need to make, you know, uh, we have to call our large language model, right? We have to inference it, right? So we did this inference directly, right? We can use, for example, we used OpenAI APIs to directly call GPT models, isn't it? Then what we realized is, I mean, what if we have some layer in between us and this OpenAI, because the models can be, I mean there can be a lot of models, right? There are multiple providers and then there are multiple things or multiple components which actually work together. So how we can integrate all these things so that the coding effort is reduced, at the same time we can integrate all these components to accomplish something. So that's why we started learning LangChain. Okay, so we learned LangChain. We learned about different components, how to write, effective prompts, how to make use of some runnable interfaces, right? And if there is a complex task, then we may need to create multiple chains. Okay. First of all, we created a single chain, right? The concept of chain, right? We started creating a single chain, which is nothing but, integrating multiple components together so that one component is sending output to the next one doing some processing and then producing some output and sending it to the next component. So like that we are able to inference our model more effectively, more easily, and we can work with multiple providers. Maybe there is a vector database from one company, then one large language model from a different company. Maybe we can use multiple LLMs at one place. One LLM can be used to do half of the task, and then maybe some costly LLM can be used to do the other half. Right. So I mean, in actual applications, there can be mix of multiple models in order to optimize my cost. Okay. So we have learned how to create chains, and then we saw how to create, composed chains, right? How we can create multiple chains, basically chains within a chain, how we can make a chain runnable. Okay. And then we also saw how to call custom functions, right? We can write our own functions and then we can call, and then we can also plug in these functions into our chain. Okay. So by doing all these things, what we are able to do is we are, creating some prompt and then we are sending it to the large language model. Some instructions are being sent to the LLM and then the response is sent back. Completion is done. But then if I do if with the existing knowledge, if I develop something, some chains, and then I'm invoking my LLM, one thing is missing, which is like memory, right? So with the existing code which we have written so far, if I give some instructions, if I say my name is Surendra, LLM will come back and it will say, nice to meet you, Surendra. Okay. And then if I say, what is my name, then it will not be able to respond, right? So whatever code we have written, that does not have a memory. So we will see one example today, the assignment which I gave you, how we can implement this memory so that I can make my application, make application conversational, right? Conversational. And then if I'm developing this application, so far we have been using Google Colab, right? So that does not have a user interface, right? So next, what we will learn is how to create a user interface. Okay, but we are not front end developers. So what we will do is we will make use of something called as Streamlit, which is a Python library which can be used to develop such UIs very quickly. Okay, so we'll make use of Streamlit to develop some UI. So now we have UI and we have some backend code which is using LangChain, and whatever instructions or whatever prompt user is writing, that will be taken from my UI to the large language model, right? And now we have also put something called as the memory. So whatever user, I mean, whenever user writes some prompt along with the history, that prompt will be sent to my LLM, and then the response will be sent, right? The completion will be done. Okay, we have also seen how to monitor our applications, right? Because when we develop our applications, it is very important to monitor them. So we have made use of what? Anyone? How we can
Sli-
Langsmith.
La-
Langsmith.
Langsmith, right? So we have made use of Langsmith to monitor our application, to debug our application. Okay, so what else do you think, guys, we should do, or what should be our?
Surendra, one thing's like
Mm-hmm,
you're talking about this vector database.
mm-hmm.
What is that? And
Exactly,
oh,
exactly. So next step is,
no idea.
so whatever topics which you can see on the screen. So with the help of these, I can, ask whatever knowledge my LLM is already having, or on whatever data it has been trained, that also it can revert, right? Whatever data on which LLM is being trained, whatever it knows, only those kind of questions it can address. LLM cannot tell me anything about Infosys policies or TSS policies or my own database, my own, SharePoint documents, right? So it has no knowledge of my proprietary data, right? So that is the reason why the next thing we will do is RAG. RAG is what? Retrieval augmented generation. Okay, so by this concept or by implementing RAG, what we will be doing is we will, vectorize our own data. Okay, we will put our data, the data which we are having, okay, our company is having, or maybe if you are doing some project for my client, then whatever data my client is having, that data can be in a database, that can be on, S3, that can be on Azure blobs or wherever. So wherever my data is, what I need to do is, if I need to create some application which has a knowledge of that data, then what I need to do is I need to vectorize my data and put it into vector database. Okay, so we will see the entire flow, how we will implement RAG, what is vector database, how we fire queries on vector database, how we get the result from the vector database, and then along with the question, we will be sending entire thing to the large language model. And now large language model has context, right? So if I say, what is the promotion policy for Birlasoft? So now since it has retrieved something, right, my application has already fetched some relevant context from vector database of Birlasoft. Now the LLM is having question along with some context, right? So now it can answer based on that context. Okay, the promotion policies of Birlasoft is so and so, right? So that's where the RAG comes. And then we will see, there are a couple of things which cannot be addressed easily by RAG, because, our documents are not so simple, right? Our policies, or, the PDFs, whatever content which we want to vectorize, they are not very simple. Sometimes they have images, sometimes they will have some links, sometimes they may have some tables, right? Let's say if Tata Motors want to make some conversational bot and they want to vectorize their different catalogs of different variants of the car. So just think, when you see their catalogs, if you download Tata Motors catalog, they will be having so many tables. They have like in the left hand side, you will have the different variants. What is the, uh, you know, uh, what is their price, what is their tax, what are their different features which are among. So it's not very easy to vectorize these contents which are not just text, rather they are having some complicated tables which are running over more than one pages, right? So we have to learn about some advanced techniques which will help us to tackle all these problems. Making sense? And then we will see something which is the very much hot in the market, like agents, how to create the agents, why do we need agents at the first place, and how we can build the agents, and some again some advanced concepts in advanced implementations of agents. Okay, advanced agents, and maybe a lecture on how to deploy such applications in production, right? So, I mean, this is an overall picture, right? So we have covered a lot of things, the basic building blocks of LangChain, because LangChain will almost in every project which I'm seeing, they are making use of LangChain, and they are building so many libraries and making the life easy. So that's why we have spent 2 lectures on LangChain to solidify our concepts. And then, so this is all we have already covered, right? So this is our future course of action. Okay, any questions? And of course, in order to do all these things, we will be using some VS Code IDE. So today we will see how we can develop, or how to set up a local environment. Okay, yeah, someone was saying something.
So then how to deploy these once we'll develop these applications, like
Yeah, I mean, we will,
we're going to implement.
yeah, I mean, we have a dedicated session on that. Okay, we'll see.
Okay, okay, sure.
So that is pretty much on the roadmap, actually. So I just wanted to give you some idea where we are heading, actually. So today, what we are going today, I will just quickly tell you. So today we will first see how to set up our
Aswanda, can you ping this one in the chat? The
this one.
previous slide. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you can take a screenshot, or you
Okay.
want.
Just bring it. We will note it down in Notepad.
Okay, okay.
So in this way, we will also have a track like what we have to
Mm-hmm. No issues.
revise.
Okay.
Thank you.
So yeah, today what we are going to do is how to set up local environment, and then we will do our assignments, right? How to writing blog post from wiki
Student, did you
article.
ping in chat? Because I didn't receive
Is it?
anything.
Just a second. What is this? I think I have pasted in somewhere else. They have hidden this bar actually. Just a second. I hope you got it now.
Yeah, got it.
Yes.
So how to set up local environment, writing blog post, and then we will talk about that conversational application. Okay, how to create memory. All right, so let's start local setup. So first of all, what we need to do is we need to install the Python. Okay, so let's begin with the Python. I haven't put any notes on Python. So yeah, I think this is straightforward. So let's install Python first.
Should we install Anaconda or Python
No,
is
no,
enough?
just Python.
Okay.
Can you see my screen now? Python. Can you see the
Yes. Yes.
browser? Okay,
Yes.
so just go to python.org. Most of you may have already done that, but still. So you can see there are different versions, right? 3.14, which is pre-release, 3.13, which is bug fix, 3.12. So maybe you can install 3.11, which is the security one, right? So we can download this one. Three point one one. Okay, let's say I'm downloading 3.11.11. Okay. Or maybe you can download the latest also, right? 3.1, 3.1. So if you click on that, it will download your .txt file, right? I think this is pretty straightforward, right? So you can let me know if you are facing an issue. So double click this .exe file, and then it will also show you add path, add this into the path variable. Okay, so click on that as well.
Which variables in the path variable you're saying?
Yeah,
Py
yeah.
Python.exe path or
Yes, python.exe path. So when you run the installer now, it will
uh,
on your first screen,
yes.
it will ask you. I mean, there will be a checkbox, I think, right?
So two are there. We have to use like admin privileges while
Both.
install.
I think you can install. I mean, you can check both.
Okay.
Surendra, I already did 3.12.
Yeah, I mean that
I
is
hope
fine.
you
I mean
know.
that is
Yeah.
fine. Or maybe anyone of you can share your screen. Okay, because I already have installed. So And then if you go to the command prompt, Windows command prompt, CMD, just type python hyphen version. Okay, so it will show you the version which is configured in your path variable. Anyone facing difficulty? Ashish, done?
Sundra, I'm actually joining. I've joined through mobile now, so
Okay,
I
okay,
would
okay.
do it later on.
No problem.
I have done, Sudhindra.
All right. So you can see python hyphen version, right? On your
Yeah.
command prompt.
Yes, 3.12. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. You can see my screen also, right? My command prompt.
Yep.
Okay. So now, so what we have done now is we have just installed Python on our laptop. Okay. So if you run a command like where Python, there is a command called where Python. So it will tell you the where your Python has been installed basically. Okay. And there is another command like py hyphen 0. This will tell you the different versions which are there on your system. Okay. Py space hyphen 0. All right.
Yeah.
Actually, I have upgraded my old version with new,
Mm-hmm.
but my it's not showing on the command prompt. It's required. It's directly like
So whatever version which is being configured in path and which is coming first in the path, that will come in your this command Python version. Okay.
okay.
So your Python is actually pointing to that particular version. So now there is something called as the virtual environments. I am on my PPT now. Okay.
Okay.
So there is a concept of virtual environments, the Python which we have installed that is on our system, and that version of Python is basically used by any applications which needs Python on my laptop, right? My operating system or my different applications which needs Python, that version will be used. But now there is something called as the virtual environment. So what I will do is I will not touch that version which we have just installed because this is being shared. Okay, this is being shared with lot of applications. Okay, so but if I am doing some development for any of my projects, what I need to do is I need to create one virtual environment because I don't want to touch my original version which is there on my system because it can break, right? So a virtual environment is a self-contained directory that contains a Python installations for a particular version of Python plus a number of additional packages. So this is my system Python, which we have just installed. And what we will do is we can use couple of utilities or couple of programs to install my virtual environment. So what that will do is virtual environment is nothing but it's a separate box in your environment on your system. So that box may have some specific version of Python, some specific libraries I can install in that particular virtual virtual environments, and then I can use that particular box on my system for a particular project. Okay, maybe in some different project I need some different version of Python. So if I degrade this Python version to 3.8, if that's what I need for my next project, what will happen is my first project will break, isn't it? So essentially, the good practice is if we are going to develop multiple projects, we will create a respective virtual environment so that our Python, along with our different libraries, actually remain isolated from the other environments and from my system Python environment. Okay, does that make sense? And they do not clash with each other. Make sense? That is the reason why I will create a virtual environment so that my project will have a dedicated directory or a virtual environment where I can install the libraries of my choice of my version, which will work only for my project. Okay. When I create a different project that may have some different needs, right? So I cannot upgrade and degrade versions, right? And I cannot share my libraries with other because one project will work in that case and the other will not work. So the best practice is to create virtual environments, one for each of your projects, so that they do not contradict and the conflicts are not there basically. Okay. Now the question is, what are the different ways by which we can create these virtual environments? So there are a couple of ways, like we have something called as the VENV, okay, which is by default comes with our Python installations. And the other is to use Conda, right? So Conda is again in itself is a package manager, plus it can be used to create virtual environments. Other than VENV and Conda, we also have Poetry, right? So that is something which is not most commonly used, but these two VENV and Conda, they are mostly used. And I personally use VENV because that comes, with my Python, the by default method of creating virtual environments, and it's the standard built-in way to isolate your Python environments. And along with VNV, we have something called as pip, right? So you have seen us, right? Whenever we write any code, we just do pip install langchain, pip install langchain core. So pip is nothing basic. It's a package manager. Okay. So with the help of pip, what happens is it goes to the library and it, fetch that library and it installs on our system. Okay, so it uses pip for package management and it relies on pip for managing packages within our virtual environment. So this was built in since 3.3. It has been part of Python since version 3.3. Okay, and these are a couple of commands. So I will directly go to Visual Studio. Have you guys installed VS Code so far on your system?
Yes, I have installed this.
Okay,
Yeah, I have also.
okay, great. So if someone has not yet installed, what he can do is he can go to the browser, okay, and he can simply say like download Microsoft VS Code, okay, and you can download as per your system. This is for Windows, okay, so you can download the setup and you can install it, okay. Do you want me to tell? I think this is pretty straightforward, right? This is exe, just double click and install.
So in the real projects, Surendra, they are using VS Code only, right?
Yes, yes,
To
yes,
write
yes.
everything,
Most of
not
them, yeah.
not Google Cab or Colab or
No, no,
Jupyter.
no, 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 no.
Okay.
Okay. So I have installed. So what next you need to do is you need to create one, you can just go to file and you can add folder to a workspace, or you can open some folder. Okay. Let's say I do add folder to demo2. Okay, so right now I have two projects, demo and demo2. So first thing, what I need to do is I need to select this demo2, and then let me, okay. So right now I am on this directory, C study, whatever, I mean, local folder you are. So you should be in your project, right? Right now I am in demo. Okay. So in order to create the virtual environment, the Python command is python -m venv, and then the name of your virtual environment. It can be anything like venv, no, virtual environment, let's say 2. Okay. The command is like python -m venv, and then what name of my virtual environment. Okay. And I just need to simply click enter. If you expand your folder, what you will see is there will be a new folder which is being created, which is venv2. Are you following, guys?
Yeah. Yes, Surendra, we are
Yes,
trying.
yes. So the virtual environment name
Your voice is breaking. Not able to hear anything, Raghvendra.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Poor
Not properly yet.
poor network, Raghvendra. Not able to hear you. Okay, so what we have done is we have created this this virtual environment with the by using this command python -m venv, and venv2 is my name of my. So if you expand this my venv2, you will see lot of folders have got created. It has like include, it has libraries. So by default it has pip package manager, and then you have couple of scripts. Okay, so now you can see under this demo I have two virtual environments, my env which I created earlier, and this is venv. Okay, two. So now I have a
Surendra,
choice. Yeah.
strangely, I am not getting this workspace and all these files directly created in.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah,
That's
it's kind of
that folder got generated or not?
yeah, folder is created.
But
I'm just
inside there
checking my
is no.
no file kind of. It's yeah, like this. My screen is visible.
Not to me. Is it visible to anyone?
Yes, I can see VS Code folders.
VS Code folders.
Why I am
Here
not?
I created this, but after this, it's not coming. Is it
Can you?
visible to Surendra?
Yes. I can see your screen now. Okay,
Okay,
so this is your VS Code folder. Okay.
correct.
Can you run the command again? Can you show me your terminal?
Yes, the terminal is not
Go,
coming back in.
go in the right hand side. Right hand side. top right hand side. हाँ, yes.
Okay.
ठीक है. Now this is your terminal. You are inside it. Now run that command python -m venv. You have given two double spaces, or they are
Yes.
yeah.
Without arguments.
Can you run python hyphen version here? So first add python. Python was not found, run without arguments.
Yeah,
Yes.
I added like in environment here variable in path. I added this Python location.
python.exe, you did it yourself, or you checked that box in
Yeah, I added this first time.
yourself? I mean, manually.
Yeah, manually, correct.
एक second रुको, you need to add the folder as well.
Uh, uh,
So what I can see in my environment variable is C user Suren app data local programs Python 311 and scripts. Okay, maybe I can copy paste.
okay.
So
Even I check this.
I think you need to add Python installation location. This is not an installation location.
This location I added. This is not correct.
no, I think
Oh, okay.
I just pinged the location.
Yeah, let me check where.
So these are the two paths for me.
I think I upgraded and I messed up everything. It was working. Okay, let me check parallelly. This time also.
What is the command? Python?
I will type python -m venv and then name of your environment which you want to name, right? 1, 2, whatever. I just pinged. हाँ, वो सुरिन हटाना पड़ेगा आपको. आपका 31111 नहीं होगा शायद.
Okay,
ये रहा.
let's see. What this we have done. This path we need to add.
Yes, this one, and also without the scripts also. 311 up to 311. And move them to top also, no? Just in case. Slash
Okay.
also. Slash also. Backslash. 313 backslash. ठीक है.
So Surinder, once we'll execute that command, it will under that workspace folder, it will add some subfolders, include libraries,
Exactly.
right? Okay, got it.
So it will create a separate folder, right? As I said, the virtual environments are separate boxes for your, right?
Now it's working.
Maybe you need to restart this one, your VS Code.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So now, I hope you can see my screen now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so let me again create. Okay, so this is already done. So now my what I need to do is I need to activate this environment since I am having multiple virtual environments. So for my project, I need to activate one of those. Okay, so the command is like dot slash. It depends on the path actually where your virtual environment is there, right? For example, for me, the virtual environments are just inside demo, right?
We cannot see your VS Code.
Is it? Now?
Yes.
Okay. So I was telling under my demo, I have these two environments. Essentially, these two environments can be anywhere on my system. Okay. So in order to activate what all I need to do is I need to give their path. Okay. If I expand my virtual environment, you can see there is a library folder and then there is a script. Within the script, there is something called activate. So I just need to call this particular activate. So what I have written is my dot backslash my env scripts. I have given the path and then activate. So if I click on that, if I enter that, what I will see is the name of my environment is now in, it's my, this command prompt is appended by my name of my virtual environment. Okay, so that means that now I am inside my virtual environment. Is it? Is it fine? But you have to be careful about the path, right? If you have created your virtual environment somewhere else, then you need to give some different path. I will just paste this command. Okay, I need to go inside my virtual environment and then scripts and then activate. And all these commands and everything differs based on my operating system. So this is for Windows.
It is telling me could not load module.
Can you show your screen?
Yeah. Just a second. Can you see the
Mm-hmm.
screen? So this is a virtual environment. That's what I am giving. Dot v
Uh, ju-
script.
just give a backslash after the dot. After the dot
Okay.
at the beginning of the command.
Yeah.
No,
Like
dot backslash.
like
And
this.
yes, and then the name of your virtual environment.
Unauthorized access.
Running script is disabled on the system. For more information, see the executable policy. Are you on your office laptop?
No. This is my personal.
Mhm.
Looks like policy is implemented.
Mhm.
Maybe Python not installing with admin permissions.
Mhm. Run that, Python version command. Are you able to access Python?
Yeah.
Then only you are able to create that. Um, can you drag and drop activate dot bat from left hand side into your command prompt? But we need to just run activate.
Should I uninstall this VS
Yeah.
Code and
Can you click on the top arrow to load the previous command?
yeah.
Just remove this bat, dot bat.
Mhm.
Put that parenthesis. Click enter. Something is wrong. I am not sure.
Okay.
Can you click on this PowerShell? The yellow. You have terminal and port.
Yeah.
Yes. Can you move it to? Maybe you can kill this one and then try again. Kill terminal. New terminal. Something is there, right? Security error, PS security, fully qualified error,
Mhm.
unauthorized access. Something is wrong.
I think I have to uninstall this version
Mm. Mm-hmm.
and then maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, I will try that then.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you need to create this, first of all, don't keep these spaces in your path actually, no? Personal space data, Gen AI, that is a
Mhm.
good practice. And then maybe you can choose some different path to for your workspace where you have full rights actually. Feels like on these folders you don't have. Can you show your laptop directory
Yeah.
drives?
So this is
Okay. Can you create a separate folder here like workspace? Open this folder in your VS Code. Open folder. Open terminal. हाँ तो कुछ तो आ रहा है आपका ना I don't know. Windows PowerShell profile cannot be loaded. Running script is disabled on this system. Can you add CMD here? Not sure how. CMD terminal, can you add plus?
CMD.
You can add there in that plus is there, na? right on the terminal side, right side
Mhm.
there's a PowerShell.
Yeah.
Here, you can click on that. Usme you can say you can change the command prompt through command prompt. प्लस है ना, प्लस में क्लिक कीजिए.
Mhm.
हाँ, ये एग्जिट कीजिए, ये जस्ट क्लिक एग्जिट हियर. इट विल गो टू कमांड प्रॉम्प्ट हियर इन
Here.
द वर्कस्पेस.
Here.
नहीं नहीं, यहाँ
Or
पर एक मिनट, लेट मी ट्राई वन फ्रॉम माय साइड आल्सो. वन सेकंड, गिव मी अ सेकंड.
you use same drop arrow and choose command prompt. Same drop arrow and second one option, second command prompt.
हाँ, यहाँ पे एक और ट्राई करो.
Yeah, it is there. It is there. If you see,
Hmm.
I got it.
Yeah, run that Python version first, whether you are able to access. Create Python -m venv space venv1 कुछ भी कर दो. my env. हाँ ठीक है, एंटर.
It is creating.
हम्म ठीक है.
Yes.
Now run dot backslash my env.
Flash.
Don't give space, and then scripts, S capital scripts, activate.
हो गया.
Yes.
ठीक है, माई env आ गया. मतलब पावर शेल में कुछ इशू है आई थिंक, है ना, सम एक्सेस और सम सिक्योरिटी.
Okay. Okay. I will check. Thank you.
हम्म.
Okay, then you can share.
या ओके. So my Python environment is activated now, right? So in order to deactivate, you just need to write deactivate. Okay, can you see my screen, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. ठीक है. In order to come out of this environment, just click on deactivate. Okay. Then the name of environment will go away. I will re-enter into my environment. So now whatever command I put here, right? For example, I say pip install langchain. Okay, whatever I do, what will happen is it get installed in my virtual environment instead of my system Python environment. Are you getting? We are not hampering our system environment. Rather, we are installing everything on my dedicated virtual environment. So you will see it's getting installed.
Can you go up, Surinder? Like आपने कहाँ से किया? You activated, then you did okay. You installed LangChain. Okay, okay.
Once you see the name of your environment, that means you are inside your environment. Now, whatever you do, that will be applicable. That will be loaded into your virtual environment. Okay.
ठीक है. Okay.
So, for instance, I installed LangChain. Now, if I go to my environment and lib, I will see there are a lot of libraries I can see now. So,
Yes, yes.
LangChain I can see, right? LangChain core, Smith, all that stuff has got installed into my virtual environment.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this is the one way. Now, if I look at my directory of my project, okay, so I can see there is something called as .env. So .env, are you with me, guys, now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so usually what happens is whenever I mean we were using Google Colab, and then we had couple of ways to load my environment variables, right? So now in this VS Code, what the general practice is to create a .env file. Okay, so you can simply click on this plus sign and create one .env. Okay, .env2, for example, I'm creating. So, but you need to create .env file.
We have to create, or is it already available? No, right?
No, you have to create. Just click on
Okay.
this new file and with the extension .env.
ठीक है. It was not available in default. That's what.
Yeah. It was a blank folder, right? So when we created our
हाँ, ठीक है.
Okay, and this file can have, all my OpenAI API key, Grok API key, whatever I want to set. So we can put all those here and then we can give some values for those keys. Okay, I mean, again, there can be different ways, right? But this is one of the most popular way. So I'm showing you. And then if then what I can do is I can again click on plus and then I can create one app .ipynb. So this Visual Studio also supports Python notebook. Okay, so what I will do is I will click on plus sign. I can create app dot any name, right? App dot ipynby nb. This is interactive Python notebook. Okay, and then maybe it will install some connectors for it. Okay, if you are doing it first time, it will install some kernel or something. Now, if I need to access my those environment variables which are there,
चल रहा है यार, बंद नहीं हुआ, कुछ काम कर रहा उसका जो है बंद तो हो गया। वो बंदा आके बोल रहा है कि इसकी मोटर खराब हो गई है। अब मैंने जब एल स्टोर में बात करी, वहां के इलेक्ट्रीशियन ने बोला
ओके, किसी की खिंचाई हो रही है। Anyways, so what I need to do is, in order to use these properties or in order to load these properties, right? So they will have certain values. Okay, I just emptied it. If I need to access all these things, the usual practice is, first of all, I need to install a library called pip install python-dotenv. Okay, python-dotenv. So once you do that, once your library is installed, you can do from .env import load.env and then import OS, and then you have to run this load command, load_.env. Okay. Maybe I will just put them in the these are small things, but I thought, I mean, they are worth telling you once. Okay, if I run these load_.env, so what this command will do is it will basically load whatever you have put in the .env file. It will take those variables and it will set the values for them for you. And now you can access those variables like os.getEnv and then key of your property. Okay, if you click on that, you will be able to access the value of it. Okay.
So this is the code we have to run in IP.
Surendra, how you are executing the code by clicking on arrow, correct?
Yeah. So right now my extension is ipynb. Okay. So
Correct.
this will just
IPYNB.
so it will behave like I can execute in individual cell just like Google Colab. Okay. So
Correct.
Notebook, just like
yeah,
notebook, I think we
just
can.
like notebook. Yes.
Yeah, so I am able to do it, but it is not executing the code
I
something.
think you must have got some pop-up, right, to install some IPY kernel or something.
Kernel,
Yeah,
IPY
yeah.
kernel.
You have to do that to install that plugin for VS Code so that it can recognize and load these
No
things.
problem.
Jupyter.
Jupyter.
After loading, it started executing.
Hmm.
Executed.
Hmm.
Is there any way to bring that pop-up, because I'm not getting that pop-up? I tried to add one more file, but it's
Mhm.
still.
So what you can do is maybe you can explicitly install that. This one, you need to install this one, Jupyter.
Jupyter. Okay.
Okay. In the left hand side, if you go to extensions, you search this
Extension.
Jupyter extension.
Install. Okay. Jupyter. Now it is creating Jupyter.
This Python also, no? If you have not installed Python, Pylance.
Now it is installed.
All good?
Okay, it is.
It is printing none, right? Print my variable.
I mean, in the .env file, whatever value you have put in the .env file for that key, that it will print. Okay.
Okay,
If that
can
is
you copy this that also?
I mean, you can randomly put anything, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Okay.
Okay. I mean, what are all the requirements? So sometimes we also write in requirement, right? Also the same thing.
I mean, I will tell you that is a different thing. This is
Okay.
a different thing. This is to load the properties, right? In Java, we used to have something dot properties file, and then we can load, right?
Yeah, now it's working. Oh, thanks.
Okay, so that was one aspect, which is .env. What other files? So, I mean, in usual, we don't write IPY This is just for testing. If you are debugging something, it is usually easy to execute cell by cell, rather than executing your entire .py file. Otherwise, what we will do is we create .py file to write our logic. Okay.
Okay.
We sometimes create a different file if you are using some GUI or some user interface we are building. We create a different GUI file which basically has some Streamlit code to create some panels, some bars, some buttons, and things like that. Sometimes we create prompts.py also. For example, system prompt. So I will explicitly tell what it should do, and this file will have prompt. I mean, this all we will cover in future also when we will build applications. But just to give you some idea. Okay. Readme.file, you can create something. There is a requirement.txt. So, okay. So requirement dot requirements.txt is a file where you can basically put down all of your libraries which you have used, right? So if you don't put the name of the libraries and their versions, then you may not be able to reproduce, or let's say Prashant says, I also want to replicate your project, then I need to tell him, right, what libraries he need to install. So not only the name of the libraries, but their version also. Okay, so right now I don't have the versions associated with them, right? So this is just one sample file, but we have something called as the freeze. So if I do pip freeze, if I have not created my version requirement.txt file, I can simply run this command, and this command will actually tell me what all different libraries are there along with their version. Okay, if you have an existing project which has where you don't have the exact version names, but you have already installed in your environment, then you can use this pip freeze command, and it will tell you what all libraries along with the versions which are there in your virtual environments. Okay, so this is, I mean, this is not the way we do, but sometime. So usually what we do is in our requirement.txt file, we have something like this one. Okay, so when I say to anyone, Arvind, that let's create this project, so I will share this requirement.txt file, and what he will do is he can just run this file saying that python minus py or pip. So how do I install my library? Pip install. But this time, instead of the name of the library, what I will do, minus recursive space requirements.txt file. So what will happen is whatever, let me just keep two of them. So whatever libraries I have, I can install everything in one go. Okay. So if I do pip install, it will install all the libraries which are listed in requirements.txt with the same version. Is it making sense? So I have told you both things, how to create your environment or install your libraries given requirements.txt and vice versa. If you don't have, how you can create requirements.txt. But if you use pip freeze, what will happen is it will, uh, I mean, that's not a full proof. So it will tell you each and every library which is there. So sometime if I install just pandas, that may install 5, 6 more libraries. But this command will give you each and everything, all those 6 libraries which have been installed. Okay. So this is the way to do the versioning requirement.txt. Any doubts?
I am getting one error.
Mm-hmm.
Could not find file requirement.txt.
So you should have requirement. I mean, it's requirements.txt. S is also
Okay.
there.
Okay. Yeah, I will that create it.
And then you can put your library names along with the version. If you don't put the version, what it will do, it will just install the latest one. Okay, that also works. Just give me 2 minutes, guys. I will be back. 2 minutes.
Okay, can I share my screen quickly? One same error I'm getting, but file name is also correct.
He has taken break, Prashant.
Okay.
Yes. Any questions, guys?
Yes, Sandra, I'm also facing same error, but my file is also in my first env, that requirements.txt. I
So,
kept this pandas version also. My screen is visible, correct?
let me stop sharing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm. You are creating this file inside your virtual environment, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
Keep it outside, no? Virtual environment is just this is part
Oh,
of
okay.
your actual, source folder.
Oh, okay. So it should be
Ah,
here.
it should be under. Mm, just minimize that your virtual environment. Don't do anything inside that now.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Yes. So .env should also be outside your virtual environments. Okay.
Yeah, now it is working. Okay. I mean, .env also it should be outside. And
Yes. So we don't do anything explicitly inside. I mean, that is maintained by itself.
okay.
Mm.
Okay, I will remove. Thanks.
Mm.
Thank
ठीक है.
you.
Okay. Shrivali, are you also doing parallelly? You most of the time you remain silent, so I'm not sure your status.
Surendra, I'm not able to install because this is Chrome system, so I'll try later in the Windows in another machine.
Okay. You are having the Mac system? Mac
Yeah,
version?
yes, Surendra. I mean,
Okay.
I'm getting some installation problems, so that's why I'm not installing.
Mm-hmm. So it has actually some different directory structures and some different commands basically.
I think maybe I should try in Windows only.
Mm-hmm. Commands are actually different. I think you have some brew command too. Anyways, okay.
Surendra,
Hmm.
just 1 second. Like when I am creating requirement.txt, by default it is getting created in my environment only.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So when you're clicking on that plus sign, then you should not
yeah,
select your virtual environment.
but
Okay.
okay, I will just quickly share
Mm-hmm.
because that is the option I am getting only. Okay, here, right?
See, right now that box, mm,
Sorry, delete.
Workspace. You have to click workspace.
workspace on top.
Yeah,
Right click and no, just expand it. Yeah, create a file.
yeah. I mean, I did that only. See,
No, maybe while selecting your in env is getting selected.
I am clicking plus. It is getting created here only. You can see, right?
Yeah, I can see. Just drag and drop it outside your my.env file.
So
Now it's outside only.
no, it is inside only.
No, outs. My
If you
env.
see
Okay.
here, I want to move. Okay, okay. I have to move. I
Yeah, I mean,
will.
what you can do is you can create another folder actually. Uh,
Okay, yeah. Then I tried to create this. Then it was not showing in this format. Like if you
mm-hmm,
see left side, it is showing in this format, like arrow. So I was
mm-hmm.
not sure if it is the same.
See, ideally, the workspace folder, you have to create another folder inside your workspace, and then you have to work. Okay.
Hmm.
Are you getting?
This workspace is a default, whatever
Yeah.
is highlighting, I believe. Because whenever I'm clicking on my parent folder,
Hmm.
rest of the all child folder is getting,
Correct. Correct.
yeah,
So what?
hide.
Hmm.
So, I mean, these are the files like env should also be outside,
Yes. Yes. Definitely. Everything should be
All,
outside. You have not
yes.
to create anything inside your uh, virtual environment.
and this include libraries, scripts.
No,
It will be the
there.
part of env,
Right.
That
Right.
will work.
and also app and this also outside.
Yes.
Outside,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, okay, got
So
it.
what you do is you just go to your folder, no? Folder
Mhm.
Explorer on your Windows. Go out of this VS Code and go to your C drive and locate your, I mean, project location where you are creating.
Yeah.
This is na. So so yeah. So now they are outside, right? So you can
Mhm.
create another folder and then you can put everything inside that. All these. Okay.
Okay, okay. Yeah, got it. Okay.
Okay. So let me get back to my PPT. So if you want to do same thing for your using Conda, how you need to do is you need to first install your mini Conda. Okay. And then these are the command Conda. You first you need to check whether it has been installed, and then it's like Conda create name. This is my project name. This is my Python version. Activating Conda activate project name. Conda deactivate. Okay. So these are the command if you want to go Conda way. Okay. For virtual environments, we have already seen Python -m venv and then activating and then deactivating. And then I was telling you .env requirements.txt pip freeze. If you want to create yourself, what you can do is pip freeze, and then you can put the output into the requirements.txt by a single command. Okay. This way, what will happen? Your requirement.txt will get created automatically. And if you already have requirements.txt, then you can make use to install your libraries like this pip install -r. So that is all from this virtual environments. Now what we will do is we will try to solve our two assignments. Okay,
Can you copy and paste also this like
this one.
freeze? Yeah, because it is telling me no matching distribution found for LangChain when I'm using pip install -r requirement.txt. Okay, can you just repeat what you said about pip freeze and pip install?
Yeah, I will just show you. So whenever I am inside my virtual environments, okay. So what I can do is I can simply run this pip freeze. So what this will do is it will list all the libraries which are installed in my environment. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Working.
Yes.
And if I want to put this output inside requirement.txt file, I can simply do like this. So after doing this, you can see my requirement.txt got updated with all the libraries. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now,
Even the prompts.py also we have to create, right?
sorry.
Prompts.py also we need to create outside the
Yes, yes. Everything is outside your virtual library, virtual environment.
outside the virtual environment.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
App py app1.py nb and assistant py and GUI.
Everything. You are not supposed to create anything inside your virtual environment.
हाँ
Okay. It
ठीक है.
will.
तो ये सब हमको we have to only do, right? App also IPBY PY everything, right?
Yes,
because
yes.
this, yeah.
हाँ, वो
Okay.
तो अपना folder structure है, right? Whatever files we will create for our project that we have to
Uh-huh.
create and
Okay. Dot .giti is it's a generated one. Not, we don't have to do anything
which
there.
one? Which one?
Dot .giti.
Huh.
Yeah.
This is actually, so what happens is, let's say I connect to my Git repository. Okay. I have
Mm,
connected to my GitHub. Now,
mm.
whatever code I have written, if I commit my code, what usually happens is my .env file will also go, right?
Okay.
It will be updated in the GitHub repository. Now anyone can access all my keys, right?
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
So what I do is I usually create this file which is gitignore. So I'm telling whenever I am updating my
Uh-huh.
code with the Git, you should ignore all these things. So whatever files I don't want to send or update to GitHub, that I
Mm.
will put inside this
This
file.
also we need to create in that case.
Yes, 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 yes. I mean, if you are interacting with,
Git.
if you are updating your code, हाँ.
Okay.
तो अब
Okay.
क्या होगा? This .env file will not go with my commit. When I do commit to my
Uh,
GitHub, it will not go.
okay. Okay. This is this is important.
Yeah, definitely, this is important.
So in the requirement.txt, there are a lot of libraries, right? But we
Right,
don't
right.
need all of them, I
So I
believe.
mean,
Or
that's what I was saying. When I install just LangChain, it
Mhm.
install couple of more libraries, maybe 20 or 25 other libraries,
Yeah.
right? So they are also listed here right now.
Okay.
Okay. Ideally, if I install just LangChain, maybe these 15 get automatically installed.
Okay.
Okay. But this
Yeah.
command actually just, so I mean, that's what I'm saying. This is not a good practice to use this command, but just in case you have received some project from someone which has not listed the versions, then this is one handy way to get the versions which are there in the library. Okay. So what we will do now is where is my पता ही नहीं चला. I hope you can see the Chrome now. So I will open Google Colab.
Surinder, can you just
Hmm.
go for a moment to that VS?
हाँ, tell me.
एक मिनट के लिए. Just I want to just.
एक second.
Sorry, I was observing, so just missed that point.
No problem. हाँ, बताओ.
VS में जाइए 1 मिनट. हाँ.
Hmm.
वो GUI में क्या है, एक बार दिखा दीजिए.
So
GUI और
this GUI, so these are project specific, है ना? I have just shown you. What I meant to say is when we will work on developing some applications, I can create some prompts.py to put all my prompts inside that particular file.
okay,
GUI.py file to mainly put some code which is creating GUI for my application, right? My
हाँ,
side panels, right panels,
okay.
buttons, and all those things. And my logic will be there in my app.py files. I may create
हम्म,
some assistant class. If I'm creating some assistant, then I can create some assistant class. Okay,
okay,
so
okay.
like that.
और रीड मी में कुछ नहीं डालना है क्या?
Read तो ये तो ऐसे ही है. I mean, if I'm committing my code to GitHub, this is readme. Someone who wants to get some detail on the project, you can write some readme.md
वो
file.
डिस्क्रिप्शन में हुआ है ना, बस और
हाँ
कुछ.
हाँ, right, right. This is
ठीक है.
optional actually, ना.
ओके, ओके, ओके. थैंक्स.
Okay, so what was our problem statement? Okay, so we had to develop this particular thing to develop a pipeline that transform a Wikipedia article into a well-structured blog post. Let me open the solution itself to make it fast. Okay, install these libraries. So what I will do is I will take some Wikipedia article on maybe Jaipur. So I have created one variable called Wikipedia article. Okay, so I can remove things like these. Okay, so this is my article and my aim is to create a blog post out of it. Okay, so I directly copied this Wikipedia article, but there are ways by which you can scrape a particular website. Your code can go to Wikipedia and then it will select all these text and then give it to you. But we are directly using Wikipedia article. We have just copy pasted this article. Okay, so as I pointed, what we need to do is to develop a pipeline that transforms Wikipedia article into well-structured blog post. This process involves extracting key information, summarizing, creating an outline, and generating the final blog post. So the first step is to summarize each concept, take each extracted concept and create a concise summary to break down into manageable pieces, generate blog post outline based on summarized concept, create an outline or plan for the blog post and then generate the final blog. Okay, so you can see we can break this task into multiple subtasks. The first task can be to summarize each concept. Okay, so I have done this. What else? I have installed these, imported these classes, and my first. So I am creating my first chain. Okay, this is my first chain. Code to create an outline for my blog post. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm creating chat prompt template, and from template, what I'm given the following Wikipedia article, create an outline for an engaging blog newspaper article about it. Okay. I mean, this definitely can vary from person to person, you know. So what I have written is given the following Wikipedia article. So I have taken this Wikipedia article. I have given triple quotes because it's a multi-line, and then I am passing this article as a variable. Okay, so this is my article. So this is my prompt. When I will be invoking this prompt, I will be passing the value for article, and then how this prompt will look like, it will for LLM, it will be like given the following Wikipedia article, create an outline for an engaging blog newspaper article about it. Newspaper likho chahe nahi likho, that is fine. I mean, you can always change this one, right? So for engaging blog maybe, or blog newspaper article about it. Okay, so this is my first prompt. and then I created this model output parser, and I have created my first chain, which is extraction chain. So a prompt model and output parser, this now we are expert in creating chains. So this will give me the outline. Extraction.chain.invoke. What I need to pass, I just need to pass Wikipedia article because my first component is looking for just one variable, which is article. Okay, so I have created this as a variable, and I will be passing this where is that? This Wikipedia article as an argument. Okay, any confusion so far? I think I need to import OS, and then I need to do OS dot environ. This should be grok, and I will go to my keys. Feel free to stop me if it does not make sense for you guys. So okay, if I run this one, okay. Are you with me, guys? Lot of silence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I have done is I have created my first chain, and what my first chain is doing is it is just creating an outline for my blog. So I am trying to write a blog based on one Wikipedia article. So in order to do that, first of all, I'm creating some outline. Okay. The LLM has created outline. I'm using some default Mixtral, that model, right? Which is by default passed to my chat grok. And the outline is like introduction. And then I will have some historical background, Jaipur as a popular city, modern day, conclusion, current city and population. So this is just an outline it has created for my blog post. Fair enough. Okay. Second, what I will do is my summarize prompt. Okay. You are a senior, highly experienced. Now I am creating another prompt template, and my prompt is like, you are a senior, highly experienced journalist with deep expertise in the following topic. And the topic is my context. And your extensive knowledge allow you to provide thorough insights and nuanced perspective on this subject. Using your experience, write a comprehensive newspaper article that adheres to the following outline. So now this particular chain which I'm going to create will take two things as an input. One is the context and other is the outline. This context is nothing but my article itself. Okay. So I'm saying you are given this article, okay, and you are given the outline also. Now with the help of this article and the outline, what you need to do is you need to create some blog post. Okay. And what I will do is my summary chain, summarize prompt, model, output, and then this is like invoke. We have already studied how to write these chains. Okay, for this chain, my input is summarize prompt, which is looking for two values. When there are two values, I have to use dictionary. Okay, so I have used dictionary. I'm saying my context is again the same Wikipedia article, which I also use for my first chain, that I will pass to my second chain, and outline is the output of my first chain. Okay, my first chain created outline. So now in the second chain, I'm passing that outline along with the Wikipedia article, and then I can print my output. Let's see what it prints. So it says Jaipur, the Paris of India, now recognized as World Heritage City in an exciting turn of events, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now it was founded by 17 by Savai Jaising. So it has created that particular summary. My third step is now how I can create a compose chain which can make use of the first two chains. Okay, so in the compose chain, what I'm doing, I am creating this outline and context and then passing it to my summary chain. Okay, so this chain is doing nothing but just integrating those two chains, so that from my first extraction chain, the output which is like outline, and I'm using again runnable pass through, so that whatever article I pass while invoking this compose chain will be passed as is to my summary chain. Okay, guys, let me repeat. This is my first component of my compose chain, which is again nothing but a dictionary. We already talked about, right? I have created this dictionary because my second component is summary chain, which is looking again for two things, the outline and the context. So outline I will get from my first chain, and this context is runnable pass through, because while invoking this chain, I want simply this article to be passed as is without doing any modification. So both the outputs of this particular step will go to my summary chain, and then it will print the final article. Okay, so discover the charm of Jaipur, India's pink city and Paris of East. Introduction, history of Jaipur, blah blah blah, conclusion, like that. So I mean, this is in fact may not be the best use case, but the intention is how we can basically, break our problem into multiple steps, and we can create multiple chains, and then how we can, stitch those chains together to accomplish something, right? Our aim is to study these concepts, how we can make use of these runnable pass-throughs, chain within chain, how to make chain as a runnable, okay, how to create these dictionaries and things like that. Any doubt, guys? And in fact, this language of these prompts definitely is not something which you can, write at the first shot. When we are working in the applications in, different projects in real time, these get, tuned over the time. Okay, so first I will try writing some prompt, then I will see my output is not good enough. Then I will further change something in my prompt. So this is an iterative process where I try to, uh, keep on changing my prompt so that I get the relevant result. Okay. Are you with me, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
एक
Sudhir.
बार करना पड़ेगा शायद,
हाँ जी.
2-3 बार किए करेंगे तो थोड़ा
right. So what you need to do is you need to think of some other objective, है ना? ऐसा कुछ सोचो कि what we can actually do where we need to call LLM multiple times. Think of any such use case, and then, try to write anything like this one. Okay.
वो one more question I have. If we can pass this information in like a conversation what we were discussing, right? तो उसको मेमोरी में स्टोर करेंगे तो उसको चार्ज पड़ेगा ना, तो
नहीं, वो भी
कैसे?
बात करते हैं, अभी करते हैं वो सेकंड वाला, राइट? कन्वर्सेशन, हाँ, दैट वी आर गोइंग टू डू नाउ.
ओके,
ठीक है, लेट मी ओपन दैट आल्सो. Okay. So just think from this perspective, what we need to do. Now we need to build some memory-based chat system. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to create an object where I can store my messages, correct? Right? If I want to pass all my
yes,
historical messages to large language model, then I should have some object where I can keep on appending my messages. Okay. So that at the time of invocation, I can just pass that particular object along with my request. Okay, so I need to create some object which can store my which can keep on storing my user and the AI responses. Okay, whatever messages we have. Then after creating this object, what I need to do is I need to update this object with some user message and AI response, right? So maybe I can write some function which can help me to keep updating this particular object. And then what I need to do is I need to create a chain, like again, your prompt template, model, and parser. And whenever I'm invoking my chain, what I have to do is not only I need to invoke, while invoking this chain, first of all, I need to pass that object, right, which I have created along with my current prompt from the user. And then once the response is received, I have two things, right? The new question which the user just asked and the response which I have received. Okay, I will be having these two things. These two things I have to take and then again update into my memory object, isn't it? So that for the next question, my memory is refreshed. Getting? So in order to pass the history to my chain, I need to make my prompt template accordingly, which can accept history and new message. And whenever I call my chain, I also need to, I mean, this I have just written so that you can actually think, what we are going to build, some idea about that.
Surinder,
Okay.
और एक question है.
Hmm.
For example, I just thought कि
Mm-hmm.
अभी we have a product, around 20 products, and
Mm-hmm.
we have stored in our database. The
Mm-hmm.
user is asking about that product,
Mm-hmm.
and that product details we need to pull.
Mm-hmm.
तो इसमें we need to have some other models as well, like any NLP model or anything integrated with the um, OpenAI, or just OpenAI is sufficient?
No, I mean, if you have some custom tables, right? If
Hmm.
the information of the product is in the custom table in a database, what
Hmm.
you need to do is you need to vectorize that database, right? You
Hmm.
have to use some loaders which
Hmm.
can take those tables, which can vectorize those tables, and then when the user is asking any question, first it will go to your RAG system. It will
Hmm.
pull the relevant information, and then it will give it to the large language model that this is the information, then now you have to synthesize. I mean, it's a bit complicated.
Hmm.
You have to, you have to see the exact use case and then you have to design the system.
हम्म. नहीं, ये कर सकते हैं ना ऐसा कि
हाँ 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 हाँ, definitely.
उसमें कुछ मॉडल की जरूरत नहीं है ना, जस्ट वी हैव टू यूज रैग एंड वी हैव टू पुल इट,
Like,
और इसमें.
after RAG, I mean, once you fetch your information from the RAG, then for the final answer, you have to go to your large language model, right? To create the answer in the natural language with whatever information you are providing.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, I mean, if you want, we can discuss that kind of use case. Okay, where what we are doing is, I mean, चलो वो बाद में discuss करते हैं because that will take some time actually. Okay, so in that particular use case, what we were trying to do is we had some tables, as you said, tables. Okay, and then user was asking question in natural language. So in order to query those tables, first of all, what we need to do is we need to convert natural language into some SQL query, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Right? So we were using large language model to generate those SQL queries. Okay. And in order that large language model can generate the queries for your tables, it should have some information of your tables, right? Then only it can create. How LLM will come to know what kind of schema you have, how many tables you have, what is user table, what is product table, right? So what we do is in our system prompt, we define all those tables. Okay, in system prompt, what we did, we defined those tables and schema. Okay, and we push that schema details in the system prompt, and then we ask a question, right? So now I have a natural language question along with the table details which I have in my database. So what will happen is it will create some SQL query. LLM will create some SQL query based on your schema details which you have passed. Okay, now it will return back with some SQL query. Now in your application, what you will be doing is you will be firing that query on your actual database, right? Your fire SQL query in your actual database. Okay, you will make your connection with the database like we do, right? In whatever language you want, Python, if you are using make connection with your database, now you have SQL query, just fire that query, and whatever output which is received, na, that output along with your original question will be again passed to the large language model, right? And then large language model will be able to create some answer based on that particular output. Is it making sense for you,
हाँ हाँ
Raghavendra?
समझ गया
है ना? अब वो थोड़ा मैं अच्छे से समझाऊंगा with the diagrams and all, then it will make more sense.
Yeah, I'm able to visualize
Hmm.
the solution.
Right.
हाँ ठीक है.
Okay, so we will just stick to
Vector
create.
database में कौन सा अलग, like should we use JSON or is it like any language is vector के मतलब MongoDB कौन सा लगा सकते हैं, मतलब कौन सा बेहतर होगा?
क्या vector database?
हाँ, अभी SQL, see whatever we are using, right? From we'll generate the SQL, and that SQL the system will get the LLM will pass this information as a prompt and get the details. Once we get the detail and we run the against the database, that time उसका जो database का जो structure है वो भी matter करेगा ना, इसीलिए.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. The solution which I just told you does not use RAG, है ना? इसमें कोई RAG का system नहीं है ना. इसमें तो we are creating query from LLM and then we are actually querying the database. Whatever output we are receiving, we are passing it to the LLM for the final answer. ठीक है? इसमें हम we are not using does not use RAG. इसमें हम RAG का use नहीं कर रहे.
Okay.
चलो, we will just
Okay, yeah, got
complete
it.
this one.
Thanks.
ठीक है? Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is okay, how to create memory. So I will just install these libraries. What I will do is I will create one, uh, list type of object, memory equal to empty, initializing my object memory. So this is now empty. I have imported my required libraries, and this is my template. Like, you are a helpful assistant. Here is the conversation history so far, history, and then my actual questions. Are you getting what we are trying to do? Now, when I'm asking my question to the large language model, not only I am passing my current question, but also I'm passing my history. Okay, I'm telling explicitly that you are an helpful assistant, and here is the conversation history so far. If you have exchanged already 4 messages, then it will take all those 4 messages and 4 replies from AI, and then it will pass as a history along with my new question. Okay, so I will just run this one. I have created this memory object and I have created this template so far, and this prompt is my ready. I will import these things. So now what I have done is I have created one function which is update memory. Okay, so this will take my memory object, which is right now it is empty, and then my question and a response. What I'm doing is memory.append, this is f string, okay, user colon and the question. Whatever question I'm passing, I'm just appending it in front of user, and also the response which I received last time, I'm appending that in front of assistant. Like that, I'm creating or updating my memory. Okay. So for instance, let's say my question is, hi, how are you? And my response is, I'm fine, thank you. And if I call my method, what will happen is, so my memory looks like user, hi, how are you? Assistant, I'm fine, thank you. And what I'm doing is I'm passing this memory inside my prompt. Okay, this is history. Okay, because what I'm doing is, instead of passing this as an list, what I will do is I will change it into string. Okay, so maybe I will show you here itself what it is doing. So my history is having something like, hi, how are you? Next line, assistant, I am fine, thank you. Okay, so this history I will be passing in my prompt along with my new question. Okay, guys. So what I will do is I have created this conversational chain. I will be having prompt, model, and output parser. And I have written another function which is get response, to which I will pass my question and my memory. And first I will convert my list into string. And then when I invoke my chain, I will be passing history and question, right? Because my first element is prompt, and prompt is looking for two values. One is your history and other is your question. So I will pass those two in a dictionary format. This is what we do, right? And then what I'm getting is I'm getting a response from my LLM. This along with my question, okay, and the memory, I will call my update memory object. Okay, so what this will do? This will again with my memory, it will append my question and my result. Whatever latest question I have asked and whatever latest result I have got from LLM, that will be updated in my memory, so that when I call this function again, I will have the latest memory, okay, which I convert to history and I will pass it in the history. Is it making sense? Are you able to visualize? Yes, no?
Yes.
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 ठीक है? Hmm.
Surinder, इसमें we are saying memory, question and result, right?
Hmm.
तो memory में history ऐसे बोल के we are not storing ना history, we are just using. हाँ, हिस्ट्री ओके ओके, जॉइन मेमोरी, ठीक है, यहाँ पर क्वेश्चन और हिस्ट्री हो गया, हाँ ठीक है.
ठीक है?
बिकॉज आई वाज थिंकिंग तो मेमोरी में हिस्ट्री भी आना चाहिए और रिजल्ट भी आना चाहिए ना, तो क्वेश्चन रिजल्ट है,
Hmm.
हिस्ट्री इज नथिंग बट योर मेमोरी, दैट्स व्हाट वी आर
हाँ, वो
थिंकिंग.
I mean just conversion from
हाँ
this to string. ठीक
हाँ
है?
ठीक है.
So again, what I will do is I have run a loop while true user input. This is one Python command, right, to take input from you. So let me run it separately. Okay, so this is a way in which you can take input from the user. Okay, so this is Python command. So I am using this Python command and I'm saying if user input, whatever user is giving as an input, hi, hello, lower is not equal to exit. So if I'm not doing control C or some exit command, if I'm doing that, then it has to break. Otherwise, it has to call this response function with the user input, which user is actually putting as an input, and with the memory. Okay. So user input and memory will be passed to get response. Let me go back. Get response. It will be changed to the history. It will invoke my LLM. It will pass history and question. Whatever I will receive response, it will again call update memory. My memory will get updated. And now I have everything in my memory. And then it will, when the new question is entered, I will call this function with the updated memory and my new question. So let's run it. Okay. Hello, how are you? Hello, Surendra. It's nice to meet you. What is my name? Okay, based on the conversation history, your name is Surendra, right? If we don't use this memory object, what it would have said, I don't know what is your name. It is able to tell me my name because we are sending the entire, everything we are passing to my large language model. So now it has become memory based. Okay. So when I say control C or terminate, it will exit basically. Okay, making sense? Interesting? Boring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the simplest way of creating this memory. We will see some advanced methods also, how we will deal with. But to start with, I think this gives you some idea, right? Why we are using memory and how we can create a simple memory basically. Okay. But you will notice that what we are actually doing is we are just passing the entire history, okay, as one single prompt, single message, right? So what I mean, what is your homework is you first of all you implement. I will share this file. You implement this thing, and you also do what you use your Langsmith to see what is being passed to the large language model every time. Getting? In the Langsmith, if you go, you will be able to see what text or what prompt is getting passed to my large language model. So in that particular Langsmith, you will see that everything, the entire conversation history is passed as a string. Okay, and then it is able to see that whether the message was from user or from assistant, because we are actually appending these words, right? But the good way is to use your message based APIs, right? Where we actually tell, we create those messages, right? AI message or the user message. Okay. So that will also your homework. I will send it on your Slack. Okay. I will give you some detailed instructions using, you have to convert this into message based conversational memory. All right. Right now we
Okay.
are just passing it as a string,
Oh,
but you have to make use of your, you can also make use of your, there was something called message placeholder, right? How you can make use of message placeholder to create some message based memory and pass it. उसमें क्या होगा? You will whenever you are passing your history, you are actually creating those messages, AI message and then user message, AI message, user message. Are you getting? Instead
yeah.
of clubbing all the history into one single string, you will be creating separate messages. That will be more effective. So that you can try actually how you can convert this into your message based invocation. Okay. And then, yeah, environment we have already covered, practice all those things as well. Anything else, guys, or do you need any other doubt session in between in the week or in the coming Saturday, Sunday? I mean, you can feel free to let me know if you need extra time. Okay. That can
Okay.
be scheduled on ad hoc basis.
Yep.
Interesting, guys.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
sure.
we will, yeah,
Yes.
in the next lecture, we will study about Streamlit, how we can use Streamlit. So, right, so far we have been doing everything in this collab now. So, because of that, it may be looking some, some boring stuff. But once you have that UI and you have something running in front of you, you will feel, okay, we have done something is going on in the background. It's showing me the result, user, जैसे chat GPT में होता है ना, user AI. ठीक है, so we'll study about Streamlit in our next lecture. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Step number 10, there is a specify hyphen and you use to from memory to history.
Mm-hmm. Come again, Prashant.
What in step number 10, just scroll up,
Step number 10.
like here.
Okay.
Uh, string for this hyphen, sorry, slash n.
Mm-hmm.
What is the purpose like exactly?
So we are
We can
actually,
directly pass to memory.
segregating. We are actually, first of all, this is a list, right? So instead of passing the list, what we are doing is we are converting it into a string. We are stringifying it. We are changing this memory object into a
Okay.
string, and
Objective.
to each object we are actually, separating it by next line.
Okay. Okay. So it is list and it message is in different list. So okay. Okay. Now I yeah, clear.
वन बाई टू और टेन is the
ठीक है.
Yeah. Mm.
ये स्ट्रिंग बना दिया इसको, दैट्स इट, नथिंग एल्स.
So like in the just above, if you when you see you describe the memory object, no? So
हम्म.
here it is in one string we have entire user and assistance there.
हम्म.
Assistance information in one you can say index or message
हम्म. हम्म.
entirely.
हम्म.
So when we are giving this history hyphen n, so how it is converting into two strings like oh sorry sorry yeah I got it now. It's comma separated now. Oh sorry, I
हम्म.
am treating it as a
So this is the first
comma
element
in
of
the
the memory. This is the second element.
and this second
Okay.
yes okay
हाँ.
sorry
ठीक है. He just
oh,
इनको join कर रहा है basically with the next line. So it
which
has
next
put this in the next line and then.
So this
converting this
history converting that into a string is a important step ना. अगर नहीं तो वो काम नहीं करेगा क्योंकि वो ज़्यादा it will become a different element now.
Right. That is the object actually, no? So because what we are going to give it is a string. यहाँ पर क्या है हमारी string है, right? In the prompt you have to convert it into a string.
और मुझे एक क्वेश्चन था
हाँ
कि
हाँ.
अगर हम लोग ओपन ए यूज कर रहे हैं इन दैट केस वॉट एवर वी आर पासिंग राइट प्रॉम्प्ट
हम्म.
विल आल्सो बिकम नो टोकन्स का जो मेमोरी का वो चार्जेस रहेगा ना वो ज्यादा हो जाएगा ना तो उसको कैसे कंट्रोल करेंगे क्योंकि अभी मेमोरी सी फॉर एग्जांपल
हाँ वो तो रहेगा ही रहेगा, right? वो तो होएगा ही
हाँ
होएगा. If you want to make memory based conversation, so you have to pass the entire conversation and that will eat up your memory. And that will eat up your quota of your context, right? For example, in 3.5 turbo we have 8K as our context size, and you cannot send more than 8,000 tokens in one call. So that it will start consuming and that will also increase your cost also. So what we usually do is, what people do is, instead of sending the entire conversation, they just take the last 10 messages. Okay. In this list, what you can do is you can take just last 10 messages and then you can stringify, so that
Okay.
it will have, or maybe what some people do is, whatever conversation you have done, you summarize that conversation with some other LLM, which is low cost LLM, and you are passing that summary.
Okay.
Instead
Okay.
of 20, 30, 50 messages, you just create a summary from a different LLM, which is open source, and that will create some summary कि अभी तक क्या बात हुई है in 2-3 lines, and you are sending just those 2-3 lines, so that you cut down your cost. At the same time, you are not compromising with the context understanding.
और एक क्वेश्चन है सॉरी आई एम सेइंग इट्स लिटिल बिट लेट तो is it better to use open source LLMs or OpenAI? Because I see a lot of people using Falcon, Mixtel, and other LLMs which are available in Hugging Face as well. So, what is the is it safe to say that we can use other LLMs?
I mean, it depends, right? For which client you are using, what accuracy you want. The OpenAI models are very, very strong. They give actually very good results.
Exactly.
They support tool calling and function calling. They give you some structured outputs, right? So if you are building some complicated applications where you have to be very precise about the output and the structure, then people generally go with these OpenAI models, because they are very, accurate, and they are very efficient, right? But if you are doing something which is of, low quality, and you are not particular about the things, just like summarization is fine, right? So you can do summarization with some open source models. But then again, it entirely depends on your customer, what amount of money, what amount of security, all those things play a vital role. If you're creating POCs and doing something like that, you can use anything.
Okay. समझ गए.
You know.
Thanks, Surinder.
All right then. If you don't have any further questions, maybe we can wrap up today.
Thank you.
All right then.
From my
Okay,
side.
thank you.
Okay.
Thanks everybody. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.